Thank you, Daniel Londo, for sending me this beautiful hoodie. And Daniel runs a welding school out in California and has been a big supporter of the channel. So thank you, Daniel. And you are watching episode number 85 of my This and That series. And I don't know what happened, but there are two number 84s. I don't get it, other than incompetence. In my recent video, number 1039, I made some of these little brass plugs for the South Bend lathe. And here's one. Go back and watch that 1039 if you haven't seen that. It was semi-popular. But the reason I'm bringing this up again is there were several questions. Number one, I asked viewers, are there different sizes of the little gearbox here on the 9-inch with the single tumbler and the top lever? And yes, I immediately got some answers back saying that on the 16-inch lathe, the very large South Bends, this box is considerably bigger physically. Whether the gears are different in here and the number of threads per inch and that, I do not know. Also, several people said, well, you got a gaping hole here. Is there a plug? Well, if there is, it's certainly not this size, but I don't think it is because that hole doesn't seem to go anyplace. And the other question I'd like to pose, and I'm still not sure, but should this tumbler be in any certain position when it gets oiled so that the oil is sure to get to the correct places? I don't know. Let me know. I just got this picture yesterday from my friend Andy Current, and he had been down to Grizzly, the big store down there in Springfield, Missouri, and they have a restored South Bend lathe there, and it's painted black. It's just beautiful. But he took this picture for me, and note that they did not put a plug in the hole, and they own South Bend. When I first bought this lathe last fall, I was cleaning it up, and one of the things I noticed that down here on the belt tensioning crank, there is what appears to be an oil hole right here, and I was wondering if a plug belonged in there, but I didn't know, since there's not a whole lot of need for oil here, because once a day this shaft gets a half a revolution. But anyway, it is an oil hole. And then I just received a couple days ago an email with a picture from Latham Marks, who is a regular contributor to the channel, and he said that he has the original ball plug that goes in there, and the reason that he has it and that it was still in here is there were 10 coats of paint on it that had preserved it, and for that matter almost made it look like it wasn't there. So he cleaned it up, and sure enough it was a brass plug. Pretty interesting. Let me know if there's any other missing brass plugs on this machine. And this is the picture that Latham Mark sent me of his South Bend. And that's what it looks like as he's restoring it. This is the feed reverse lever on the South Bend 9-inch. And if you remember when I purchased this, I did tell you that this little brass thumb lever is broken off and missing. And I wanted to make one, cast one up, and I already lined up with my friend John that I would borrow his and use it as a pattern. But look what comes in the mail. So look what Paul McCafferty sent me, and you know, I believe there's actually a contest on how well I can pack, because I've been getting some amazing packages, and I don't usually do unboxing. I hate watching an unboxing, but I wanted you to see how we packed this. Cardboard, 3/4 foam, another piece of foam with cutouts in it, and then there, nested down in yet another cutout, is the entire feed reverse lever along with the brass lever. So in another video I will install this. This thing is so heavy you wouldn't believe it. Remember, it's a 9-inch lathe, and here is the feed reverse mechanism out of a 6-inch Atlas. It almost looks like a toy. Well, it is in comparison. 10 pounds, 2 pounds. So look for a video where I will install this after the weather gets warm. Okay, let's retire to Studio B for much, much more. Well, I'm down in Studio A, that's Studio Atlas. Remember that I've been working diligently on my 40-plus chapter video series course on the small 6-inch lathes, and I'm making some progress, and it should be available in May or June. A few of you watched my recent video on the Miller engines. There's still one more part to be released. But then the following day I received an email from John Nathan, and take a look at these pictures. So John Nathan lives in New York, and he has 3 of these engines, so he keeps one of them in each one of its configurations, and I don't know why I'm only showing one here. But we were talking about children not being interested, so he does have a daughter and a granddaughter that seem to be enjoying these little engines. I sure can't get my grandkids interested. No one seemed to be able to give me any information on this tool grinding block that Andy Kirkpatrick gave me, so if anyone has any leads on how to use this, let me know. But I'm showing a few other viewer appreciation gifts. Jeff May, who has contributed quite a bit to this channel, has a little deburring tool here, and it's mounted in a shell casing. I'm not sure of the caliber, I forgot. But anyway, thank you, Jeff. So in addition to Jeff giving me this, remember I've had this for a couple of years now, and that's a screwdriver, pretty much the same caliber, isn't it? And then remember when I received these very recently, file handles? Thanks to Dennis M., who sent me a few things for the Unimat. This is the drill press pinion, you might recognize, and some other Unimat items here. Tiny little boring bars. So hopefully you'll see these in use someday when I get back to that Unimat. Oh, and these are jaws for the steady rest for the 6-inch Atlas. Brass jaws. I know I've been mentioning Andy Kirkpatrick quite a bit lately, but he sent me 2 brand new Bridgeport Series 1 standard shields, and they're both brand new and in the plastic. Let me pull this out and see if we can figure out what it does. Well, there it is, unfolded, and I'm still not quite sure how to use it, but there's a pretty good picture and complete instructions here on how to install it. Thank you, Andy. And here's another neat little gift from Andy Kirkpatrick, a tiny little drill press. Now I tried to hook this up to a steam engine. It didn't have quite enough power to run it, one of the Millers. But I put these little belts on there, and I'm running it off of a Bodine motor. But it's pretty awesome. I've made 3 or 4 videos on the Weaver drill grinder, and I'm really happy with them. But somebody sent me the link to a video taken in China where they actually make these. Remember, Weaver doesn't have a factory. They're just a storefront like Amazon. Amazon doesn't make anything. But anyway, if you want to watch that video, and I'll show you the title here in a second, I think you'll be amazed because they're not making these in a dirt floor shack. It's a pretty up-to-date, modern facility with CNC machines and so on. So take a look at the clip here. Okay, here's the title of the video. If you want to look it up, I do not have a link. DIY drill bit sharpeners, mass-produced in China. You will recall in a recent video I put out a plea for help where I asked for extra blueprints for the Stewart number 10, and Andy Kirkpatrick drew the rescue again, so here's an original drawing with all the dimensions. Don't send me any more of these now, I got enough. But there's the complete drawings which covers the twin and the single, I guess. So I'm all set. There were variations in the drawings, different models made over different years, and they changed some of the dimensions, I believe, on the head in regards to how many screws hold the head onto the cylinder. So I think I got everything I need now. Now I need a little help with, well, it's not a problem, but I get a lot of comments on the videos, and I answer most of them, or some of them just with a thumbs up or a smiley face, but some of them I give a full answer, a sentence or two. And I'm wondering, do you ever get to see those? Do you have to look them up, or do they come into your feed, or am I wasting my time even doing that? Please give me some comments on that. Now, I think you know that over the years I have been in the affiliate program with KBC Tools, and they're quite a good company, and I have an account with them, but this is their 60th anniversary, and if you're interested in quality tools, take a look at their website. And I'll show you that in just a second here. But they are offering a discount of $60 off of anything over $250, and that's good for about the next year. And I'm speaking in March of 2025, so I'll show you those. Not affiliate number, but the discount code. You got to use this discount code, which I'll flash on the screen right now. Okay, KBC has a nice website, and there it is, www.kbctools.com, and their affiliate program again offers a $60 discount off of an order of $250 or more, and there's the discount code, good for a year. For a long time I've been wanting a cordless, battery-operated 4-inch grinder, and I finally bought the Hercules from Horrible Freight. And it was about half the price of a Milwaukee or a DeWalt, which are also made in China, by the way. They're all made in China. I don't care what you buy in the way of tool, it's made in China. So we'll see how this holds up. So they had a big deal going. This was free. Yeah, this grinder is free, but of course it doesn't come with the battery. They couldn't do that. Nobody does. You got to buy those extra. Didn't come with a charger. So in order to get this free, and I think it's regularly like $79 or so, and so I bought this, and this was $99 for the battery and the charger. You know, they got this all figured out. They're not giving anything away. This is called the starter kit. It's probably a cheap little battery. I don't really know, because I haven't opened it yet, and I'm not going to open it. But I have 6 or 8 of the corded ones in various condition, and I think I'll be giving those to Habitat. Most of mine need a new cord, but I like the ones that have a paddle switch underneath. I do not like that thumb switch, but there it is. Now Hercules is this is the top of the line. You know, they're like Sears. They got the good, better, and best. This is the best, 20 volt. So I'm going shopping tonight for Cadillac converters once I get this open and charged. This is the one that I'll be keeping, although I very much dislike this type of switch, this sliding switch. It's murder on the thumbs. It's bad design. I like the paddle switch. I might keep one of the Black & Deckers with the paddle switch. That's what it's all about. Nobody wants the cords anymore. I've seen these at auctions, and they almost can't get a bid on them. You know, I've been one of the biggest critics of Harbor Freight, of anyone, but I'm kind of off of that kick because their tools are the same as the ones you might get at Home Depot. Just got a different brand on them. All made in China. Everything is made in China. The only thing in Walmart that isn't made in China is in the food department. Well, that pretty much wraps up this episode of This and That. One last thing I want to show you is that somebody else, I'm sorry I forgot the name, sent me something, and in the packaging, I'll swear these people are competing for great packaging now, but these 2 rolls of blue shop rags were used as dunnage. How awesome is that? Because now I still got plenty of blue rags to use in my shop. That is, it's usable dunnage. Probably worth $6, I would suppose, but thank you for sending those. And so long for now, and I'll see you in my next video, providing I don't decide to take that dirt nap, because I'm still considering it. I've stayed way, way too long at the fair.